Okay, this is a small birth chart reading for Lana Del Rey. It's just a fraction of what a birth chart reading would be for my clients. So if you're interested, the link to my website is in my bio. Okay, so here you can see Lana is a Libra ascendant. Here we go. In the nakshatra of Swati, you can see here, which is conjunct Ketu as well as retrograde Saturn. Now, Swatis are very independent. They are very business orientated, wanting to be their own boss and do as they please. Swatis have an airy quality, as it is in an air sign Libra as well as Swati. They are very intellectual and have a delicacy about them. Although Swati is ruled by Rahu, the head of a dragon, so this can add a bit of a bite to them. Swati Nakshatra is represented by a young shoot, blown by the wind, as they love to be free and let the wind blow them to their destination. And now Ketu is conjunct their ascendant as well, which gives them an alluring and attractive personality. It can give you a more detached spiritual identity. Think of a Tim Burton character, very elusive, haunting, yet you're drawn to their more darker nature. As well as with Saturn that's retrograde, conjunct the Ketu, which can cause turmoil of choosing between worldly desires or spiritual life. Saturn is all about hard work, career, commitment, willpower, whereas Ketu stimulates the native to go into solitude and separate from the material pleasures. Lana is a Rahu dominant, meaning she has lots of important planets and placements, either in Rahu Nakshatra, Swati, Ardra, and Shabisha, or Rahu aspecting important planets. She also has her ascendant in Swati, with her ascendant Lord Venus conjunct Rahu, you can see here. Her Rahu is in the 7th house, in Aries conjunct her ascendant Lord Venus in the nakshatra of Bharani. Bharani is the nakshatra ruled by Venus. It's all about music, spirituality, and obsession with death. The common themes of Lana's songs are about love and dying, the ultimate love story. Like Romeo and Juliet, this love so great that they died for it. Rahu is a demon that drank from the immortal cup that was only for the gods, only too late to realize Vishnu cut the demon's head off. But as it had already taken a drink, it didn't die. It has 2 separate parts now. Rahu is the head and Ketu the body. They are always opposite each other, 7 houses apart. Ketu represents the past life and Rahu the mission in this life. Venus conjunct Rahu in 7th house gives fame, money, beauty. Rahu amplifies anything it touches. Rahu causes Venus to become obsessed with seeking pleasure, sex, drugs, the taboo. These natives are insatiable, as Rahu has no body, so it can never digest and have a full stomach. So it is constantly seeking the next romantic high, the next love interest, once they get bored of their current partner. This can cause infidelity, divorces. These people seem to be always in a relationship. They can never stay single long. They have this hole to fill through someone else, which can never be satisfied. She also has her Sun, Mars, and Mercury conjunct in the 9th house. So with this conjunction, you can see that the degrees that Mars is the closest between both of the planets, so it has more influence on the Sun and the Mercury, whereas the Sun and Mercury aren't that close together. Although Sun is the lower degree, therefore having more control over the Mars, so whichever planet has the lowest degree is the one more in charge. So it gives more of a Sun instead of more of the Martian kind of energy. So with Mars conjunct Mercury, we can see someone who can have a lot of arguments in relationships, as Mercury is your mind, the way you speak, the intellect. And then obviously Mars is going to be the aggression, the sexuality, your drive, ambition. So again, lots of arguments in relationships could get their aggression and sexuality out through writing, singing, any intellectual work. As we can see, Lana's songs are very passionate. The lord of the Aries is Mars, which Aries is the ruler of her 7th house. See, it's in Aries. and she has the Venus conjunct her Rahu. So the 7th house is all about relationships, spouse, love, romance. So you can see that the Venusian Rahu energy is melded with the passionate sign of Aries, with the musical nakshatra Bharani. You can see how it all interconnects. Her passionate writing, always about the most deep, intense dive for love songs, akin to a romance novel. And then her Sun conjunct Mars makes her more assertive, with an independent identity. She's very action-orientated, always ready to pioneer, reach her goals, create new paths, fighting for what she believes in, competitive and driven. And then she has her Venus opposite her Saturn, because it's 7th house, and then the ascendant is the 1st house. So it's an opposition, 7 houses apart. So this is why Lana loves older men and always sings about them, as with Saturn it can make you go for older people with your older people, but then older people when you're younger, and then when you're older you can go for younger people. So there's always an age gap in the relationships, because Saturn is time. And then her Lord Venus is in Bharani nakshatra. So the Lord of her 1st house, Libra, which is Venus, is in her 7th house. That makes it the Lord. So the Venus, lordship of this house, which is in Bharani nakshatra, which is the musical nakshatra. It makes the person love spirituality, interested in death, which Lana is always making songs about love and dying. Ego, the song Born to Die. Rahu creates this obsession with love and the ultimate story. This position can actually cause a partner to die. Saturn opposite Venus makes it hard for the person to love themselves, so they have feelings of unworthiness or inadequacy. Can cause women to seek validation by dressing promiscuous. They can develop issues of appearance and can resort to getting plastic surgery. Saturn causes you to be a late bloomer, making it tough for you in the beginning, but once you put the work into yourself, you'll gain a greater sense of confidence that other people won't possess, as they haven't had to struggle to accept and learn to love themselves like these people have. This causes people to look more attractive in their older age than in youth. Saturn can cause insecurities in women about aging and losing their beauty, as they are scared of fading away. Literally, Lana has a song called Young and Beautiful, about whether she will still be loved when she's no longer young, Saturn, time, and beautiful, Venus. You also can see from the Rahu Venus 7th house that, drug issues since she was young, probably got into the drugs due to a relationship with an older man. Potentially used her body to gain fame due to Rahu conjunct Venus. It can make you reach your goals through sexuality. She actually has a song called Fuck My Way Up to the Top. Literally used sex to get to her North Node mission, sleeping with producers, people in the music industry. Moon in the Slasha nakshatra, as you can see here, moon, and it's in the nakshatra of Slasha, which is Pada 1. So the 10th house is your career, how the public perceives you, your status, fame. Lana's 10th house has her moon in Slasha nakshatra, which represents the serpent. Slasha can use people's emotions to get towards their goals. For example, get into a relationship so that they can then write about and create songs about their experience, bringing success to them while leaving the other person behind. Slasha has a goal of using its emotions to get money, which Lana uses her emotions to create her music, which captivates her listeners like a siren. Jupiter opposite Moon. So Jupiter expands what he touches, which can cause addictions such as drugs, sex, food. You can overindulge as Jupiter wants more, so weight fluctuations are seen. Jupiter also makes you very generous, but you have to be careful as you can give away too much of yourself. You have to control excesses in your life, control your emotions. And then just like a symbology, for example, one of her songs, so Saturn and Ketu are in Vishaka nakshatra, which is the animal is the tiger, the symbol. And in the song Born to Die, Lana has two, just like the two planets, so she has two planets there in Vishaka, and then the two tigers sitting beside her while she's sitting on the throne. She's also in a chapel, which Vishaka is ruled by Jupiter, which is religion. Born to Die, that's Saturn, the lord of time. Kronos eats his children at a time. Saturn opposite Venus, issues about self-worth, relationships. Lana sings about being alone on Friday nights. Venus rules Friday. Saturn-Venus aspect makes you feel unloved, alone. And then again, the Rahu conjunct Venus in 7th house can actually cause a partner to die. As Rahu craves intense love, it's never satisfied. And then just here, Jupiter retrograde 4th house. So the 4th house is your home, your family. She grew up in a religious background. Like, I think was her father a pastor? But they were very, very religious, and you can see how it goes there. But then the retrograde can, cause somebody to be less optimistic about stuff, so they become more, kind of withdrawn and less happy about the future. They can be more pessimistic about that kind of stuff. So you can see, she even, came away from her religious, upbringing and kind of just went the Swati way and went and kind of carved her own path. So if you enjoyed this and you would like to also have a reading done by me, this is only a small fraction of what you would get from my birth chart reading. So if you're interested, the link to my website is in my bio. Hope you guys enjoyed.